I just got finished filming a 8-hour wedding starting at 6 in the morning this morning. So today I'm just going to film this tutorial at home because I'm just going to be lazy because I'm tired. As you can see, I'm just kind of setting up at my kitchen table. If you saw my makeshift everything, well here, you know what? I'm going to take a picture for you so you can see how awesome this is. So you see, I'm just, using what I can just to get this video done for you. But today we're gonna go over a very, very moody greens edit, which I find looks really, really good. So let's get on with it, shall we? My name's Will, welcome back to the channel, always good to see you. As I said before, we are going to be doing a moody greens edit. Now it is very important to know that this edit won't work on all photos because you need to capture it the right way. That is very important when you're using edits that you see people showing you how to edit, and why sometimes they don't look the same is because the elements aren't there. So for this photo, I shot them a little bit darker, still exposed properly, but just a little bit on the shade darker. There's greens everywhere. There's dark, beautiful greens everywhere, which is why this works really, really well. So just remember that when you're getting presets or getting edits from other people, if your photos don't have those elements, those colors, then it's not gonna look the same. So don't forget, at the end of this, I'll show you how to create a preset so you can save this edit, but follow along and let's get into it. This is our final edit here, and this is what the style that we're going for. So here's our before, here's our after. So we're just gonna reset it. And the first thing we're gonna do is kind of a unique thing. I'm actually going to adjust the Adobe color and switch it to landscape. Now this makes the saturation of the colors a little bit more intense immediately. So here, look at the before and the after. It just brings in a lot of the colors, and if you notice with the greens and the oranges, it really makes them kind of stand out a little more and already looks really nice. I suggest going ahead and playing with these profiles because you might find something you really like. Now the next thing we're gonna do is adjust the tones here. So first, it's a darker image, so let's go ahead and lower this to about -10 or so. We're gonna bring back some of the details, lower this to about -54. We're gonna do the shadows. We're gonna just raise them a little because it's a darker image. We don't wanna over raise the shadows. We wanna keep those deep darks and make it look really nice. With the whites and the blacks, we're just gonna raise the whites a little bit, +6, and we're gonna actually raise the blacks just a little bit, about +5, +6, something like that. Then we're gonna go down to the clarity. We're gonna soften it up a little, so -8, 10, whatever you feel looks good. And we're gonna desaturate it a little, which is gonna make it more muted. Not much, but just a little bit, so -12. Now on the white balance, we want a little bit warmer, so we're gonna raise this up till we think it looks good. And I think it looks pretty good about there. We're also gonna just add a little bit more magenta to about there. So here's our before, here's our after. It's already looking really, really nice. Now the next thing we're gonna adjust is the tone curve. We're gonna keep this really, really simple. We're gonna put a point in the shadows, a point in the midtones. We're gonna lower the midtones just a shade. We're gonna keep the shadows where they are, and we're just gonna uptick the blacks just a little. It gives us that nice, soft, faded look, which I'm a big fan of it. You'll notice a lot of my photos have that kind of upped blacks. I don't know why, I just think it looks really nice, kind of mattes the image and just looks fantastic in my opinion. Now the next thing we're gonna do is gonna go to the HSL, and we're gonna start with the hue. Now this one is really simple. All we're gonna do is make the greens more green. So we're gonna go up to about +18, something like that. And we're just gonna uptick the aquas just a shade. Actually, that's probably not even necessary. That's all we're gonna do with the greens. So then we're gonna go to the saturation. We're gonna lower quite a bit. So reds, we're gonna go to -10. Oranges, we're just gonna lower them a little bit, about the same. Yellows, we're gonna do a couple of down ticks on the yellow, and the greens is where we're really gonna make a difference, and we're gonna lower them to about -35. This is gonna make the greens kind of darken and bring those really nice tones to the forefront. Then we're gonna go to the luminance. Hey, really fast, if you're liking this video, 2 things to help me. 1, hit the like button, subscribe, obviously, that way you don't miss out videos, but also watch to the end because it really helps me when you watch the entire video. Also, there might be a goodie or something at the end that you might enjoy. Just saying. And we're just gonna do 2 adjustments here. So the yellow, down a little bit, and the green, we are going to go down a lot of it because this is gonna darken them down quite a bit. So there we go. Here's our before so far and after. already looking incredible. Next, we're gonna go into detail and we're gonna do my standard sharpening to noise reduction that I usually do. So we're gonna start with luminance and we're just gonna do 40 because we don't want too much. Masking, we're gonna do 70 because if you press Alt or Option, you can adjust it as needed, and I just really want it affecting the lines. And sharpening at 40, make sure color is at 25 so you get rid of all the noise. And that is all we're gonna do with the main panels. The next we're gonna do is the masks, which is gonna make the image kind of come alive a little bit. The first thing we're gonna do, and if you don't know how to do this, I will link a video in the description on how to make these presets. But we're gonna go over here to my presets and we're gonna do skin, eye, and teeth, and that's going to automatically apply skin softening, eye brightening, and teeth. Now they don't have, their teeth and eyes aren't showing, so we can actually delete those. If we come up here, you'll see the little alert sign, so we can just delete those. But it's much faster than doing it individually. So we have that. The next thing we're gonna do is to select subject. So Shift W will open up our masks, create a mask, and select subject. This gives us our subjects, and we're just gonna do a couple of adjustments here. We're gonna raise their exposure just a smidge, just to kind of bring them out of the image. We are going to raise the shadows to kind of, again, bring them out of the image, but also make them come alive more. We are going to lower the blacks to give them some contrast that we simply took away from the shadows. And we're going to desaturate them just a shade to about -7. So here's the before and after. It just makes them pop a little bit more out of a faded image, and it makes it look really, really nice. The next thing we're gonna do is a radial to bring the attention to them. So Shift M on the keyboard. We're going to make this radial real quick, just around them. We're going to invert it. So come up here to invert, and we're gonna just darken this to about -20. It's just gonna pull the attention from the outside of the image and draw you into the photo. The next thing is this is very green, and we wanna kind of put like maybe a light, like the sun was hitting the top of the trees. So press M on the keyboard, which will give you a linear gradient. We're gonna pull this down just like that, and then all we're gonna do is warm it up till the point where we like it. Now you can do this however much you want, but if you wanna do a lot, see, or a little. I think just a little, so let's do 20, and you'll notice it just gives a little orange up in the trees and also a little bit on her hair, kind of adding a hair light. Not really, but just giving it a little bit of that kind of feel to it. And the last thing we're gonna do is a side linear. So this is very bright, so we're gonna press Shift M again. Nope, not Shift M, just M. Shift M is radial, M is linear. We're just gonna drag this up so it kind of gets under her arm there. We're just gonna darken this up just a little to about there, and that's gonna help pull attention into the image. So here's our before, here is our after. That was so freaking simple and awesome. Now it is a little bit bright, so what we could do is we could actually darken it down just a little. Yeah, that looks really, if you really wanna go for that mood, I mean, you can even go darker if you want. It just depends on the mood of the photo that you want, but this gives you a great base edit. Now, really quick, if you wanna make this into a preset, you're gonna go up to Develop, New Preset. What you're gonna do is select whatever you made adjustments on. So in this case, we're gonna make sure we select all our masks. We're going to make sure our curves is selected. All of these here, I would uncheck exposure because all images are different and you wanna just adjust that as needed to your specific exposures. Your treatment and profile, make sure you have that because that is your landscape. But you can take off color grading. We didn't do color grading. You can take off lens correction if you want. I just automatically leave it on. And you can take off effects because we didn't affect that. We also didn't do calibration, so you can uncheck that. Name it whatever you want. Name it Moody Greens. Name it Will Simpson Moody Delight. Can't even spell my name. Whatever you want to name it, you can name it after yourself. Totally fine. But then once you're done, press create and you're good to go. Hey, if you enjoyed that edit, check out my Lightroom Master of Editing course. It is a course that I cover everything and anything that you need to know to edit in Lightroom Classic. Now it is based in Lightroom Classic, but pretty much fluid throughout Lightroom, Lightroom Cloud-based, and Lightroom Mobile. So it kind of covers everything and gets you ready to edit like a pro. That's all. It's in the description. Link's in the description. And there you have it. That is all there is to this video, so go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to check out some cool new videos on Lightroom editing, here's 2 right there. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Later.